Welcome to the February the 26th, 2002 taping of It Happened in Grand Prairie, as we bring you the history of our city and some of the important people that have made history, and some that are continuing to make history this very day. We are very excited to bring you our history tape number 449. And we're still celebrating in February Black History Month, and it's a celebration that we have really enjoyed, and today is no exception. We have three wonderful guests on the dais today. First of all, we have Chris Lott, and Chris is very important. She is an editor, publisher, head honcho, big lady of the very wonderful Grand Prairie Black News. And that's this newspaper, and we're going to hand that to Miss Chris. Miss Chris, we're just so glad to see you, and I believe that is the last edition of your paper, and we're going to get back with you in a minute and talk about it. I'm glad you're here, my dear.
Glad to be here.
Wonderful. And next, Saloma Gates, a wonderful young lady from the Dalworth community and from the heart of Grand Prairie, Texas, that does so much. And I believe, Saloma, we found you on the front page in color. And we found you on the front page with a bunch of kids doing really great things for Grand Prairie, Texas. And let's talk about that today, shall we?
Sure, we should.
That is wonderful. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
And next, Daniel Darden. Daniel, the son of Miss Chris, and we're just so pleased to have you on the set today, and we're going to get with you and find out a little bit more about you. I haven't found you on the front page of the newspaper yet, but you may be there next, so we want everyone in video land to know about you too. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, very first, out of the box. You know, they say bring it out of the box and you can really be gifted. Chris, would you look out into your camera, and I want you to tell us just a little bit how on earth did such a fine lady get mixed up being the editor and the publisher of a newspaper when Grand Prairie had lost its only other newspaper we've ever had?
Well, I tell you, the newspaper is kind of like I guess it's like a spiritual thing, like a spiritual thing that came to me. I just got one. We have a newspaper in Fort Worth called Fort Worth Black News, our family do.
Yes.
And I said, I want to start a paper in Grand Prairie, and it just sounds so offbeat, you know, but it just wouldn't leave me. So,
yes.
So I came to Grand Prairie and looked around. Next time I looked around, I got an office at 205 Southeast 5th. Purchased the office, I think it was in like October, and then it was February of last year before we actually got the first paper launched. But we got it launched, and I have found out that Grand Prairie is such a good place. It's even a good place to live, so much so I'm thinking about moving here. But it's a good place, and people really need this paper because there was so much to showcase here in the black community.
Yes, it is.
And I did not know that, and I found another thing, that the black community have been good stewards over what they have had. And they nurture what they have, and it's just growing, and it's a good place. They've got so much talent here, and they need ads, so they're doing businesses. They just need the newspaper. So that's why we're here. We're here to inform and inspire.
Now, you have another addition that's not here on the set today. I believe I met your beautiful daughter when we had a forum in Dalworth that assists you with the newspaper. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh, yes, that was a wonderful event. What we did, we brought, took the last year's paper, the whole year of 2001 paper, all the 2001, and pulled out the important things. Everything's important, but something that stood out, the important people out, and built a program around it.
Yes.
And we pulled out some of the greatest things of Grand Prairie. People did not know that, you know, they had such talent here. One lady said, "Gosh, we didn't know we're so rich."
Yes.
You know, we're so rich. Our heritage is just such a rich one. And we had this this great little boy, 8 years old, Devontae Warren. He's going to be on the show. What's that purple guy? Little purple. Barney. On the Barney show.
On the Barney show.
Got a contract with Barney, and he was there, and he performed to the utmost. He was great, and the Amber Bush, and we put out. We had book authors, you know, we pulled out all those important people that.
Robert Holt, the poet.
Oh my goodness, he published
Yes.
books. He's our sports writer.
Yes.
I don't know how we could have this paper without Robert Holt. He has been one of the great backbones of this paper, and we just had the greatest program. And then we had our local legends. We always use the local legend. You know, that's the people who have been in Grand Prairie a long time,
Yes,
and have probably done some kind of. Everybody that's been here a long time have done some kind of contributions to Grand Prairie. And we had them at the head table, all our local legends. They've been here 45 years or more. And we gave them certificates, and it was just such a pleasure. It was just such a pleasant night.
It was excellent.
It was.
Saloma, you were there.
Yes, I were.
Weren't you excited?
I really were.
Tell me a little bit about the real Saloma Gates and what you do in the Dalworth community and all over Grand Prairie, please.
Well, the real Saloma Gates, I'm all out for children and senior citizens.
Yes.
And I just love kids and senior citizens, and I really want to make sure that they get the right things in life, especially the kids, because they are our future. And I feel like working hard and making sure senior citizens get what they need, because they have done everything that they can do, and it come to a time, if you keep living, you'll get where they are right now. They may not be able to help themselves, so somebody got to be able to be there to make sure that they are not being misused. And that's really where I stand in my community, trying to make sure that all those good things go on.
How long have you been in Dalworth?
I've been in Dalworth ever since I was 5 years old.
Oh, and you're not going to tell how old you are, so you're not going to tell us how old. She's not telling anything,
I'm not
Chris.
telling my age, but I'm proud of my age.
Oh,
I'm proud
yes.
of my age, because each every day when I wake up, I thank the Lord that there's another day that He has brought me and took me so far and blessed me.
And did you get to go to school in Dalworth area?
Yes, I did. I started school in Dalworth in the first grade.
He did? And was Mr. Daniels there at
Yes,
that time?
he was. He was my principal.
That's going to give you a clue about her age, Chris. She may not tell us anything, but it is always so wonderful to see Saloma. When we go to any big deal of the day, like when we went to St. John's Baptist Church when they had their grand opening, and many things that happen in Dalworth, I always find Saloma there, and it's really great to have you on the show today. And we're just so proud of you, because I believe you've gotten almost as much space as the mayor in the Arlington Morning News, and that is a real salute.
Thank you.
And we're just real proud of you.
Thank you.
Isn't she a volunteer at your newspaper?
Oh, yes.
What does this child do for your
Oh my
newspaper?
goodness, when we first came to Grand Prairie, I didn't know, what was going on, trying to find out what's going on. Finally, somebody at the school, David Daniels' school, told me, said, I know somebody who knows. And she told me about Saloma Gates. And Saloma Gates, I got in touch with her. She was here all the time. She got all the history. She has all the photos you need.
Yeah.
You name it, she's taking care of it, and you can get it from her. Yes, and once I found out, that she had that, we just got together. I said, you need to be on the paper staff.
Sure she does.
Yes, and so she's on our staff, and I don't know what we'd do without her.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, Daniel, let's get a little bit about you, because I know your mom has given you a lot of good assignments. Tell me about your association with the newspaper and how exciting it's been.
Well, the exciting part is being from Fort Worth, actually being from the DFW area. I still did not, like how my mother was saying earlier, I did not know how much African American culture was actually right here in Grand Prairie.
Yes.
And it's been a learning experience.
Yes, and what do you do with the news? What is your volunteer job with the newspaper besides sweeping out and doing all the other stuff like I would have to do if I had a newspaper?
There are many roles, I guess you would say. I do a lot of editing, and I haven't had the time to spend meeting everybody like my mother has.
Yes.
And that's what I really, really want to do. I like people. I really want to meet
Are you in school
everybody.
at this time?
No, I'm 30 years old.
Oh, he's 30 years
Not
old.
saying that I couldn't go back to school. Education is continues, but
Yes.
right now, I have children, so I have to make sure.
All right, you better name your kids, or you're in bad trouble.
I have a daughter that's 8. Her name is Ebony Darton.
All right.
My son, he's 4. His name is Devin Darton.
Okay.
And they're a handful.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and
But they're a blessing.
oh yes.
Well, what do you want to be when you grow up now, Daniel?
Oh, you already.
Yes,
the editor,
I'm looking for the
editor
for the
of the
career
Grand
here.
Prairie Black News.
Oh, he wants to work toward being the editor.
cool?
Now that is really cool. You have him trained properly.
Yes, he will be.
Well,
She's
she's still training.
by the time I'm just ready to let it go, he'll be able to just carry it on.
Carried on for
Yes,
you.
which is a good thing.
Oh,
He,
that is-
and you know, without him and Mr. Trim, I don't know how we'd get the paper distributed because that's a lot of distribution.
Okay, that is wonderful. All right, we need to get back to you now, Chris. What's on the format for your pulling this together? Are you going to need more volunteers? And we're going to talk with two of your other volunteers on the last part of this segment. But tell me some of the others that work for you for free and that do a good job and that you want to give some kudos right now.
Yes, we really appreciate all the people that, and you know, we don't know who got the talent. They'll call us and tell us. I was at the play the other night called, Shaking the Mess Out of Misery.
Yes.
And the lady came to me and she said, I'm an inspirational writer and I'd like to write for your paper. That kind of thing just blesses you.
Great,
Yes,
yes.
and we got her, and then we have Barbara Crosley Davis, who is a great writer. She always writes poetry, and she does our health section. She's a great writer, and I told y'all about Robert Holt.
Yes.
And then we have John Trim, who is a great writer. He writes our opinion column. He'll write any area that you ask him to write, he'll do it and can do a good job.
Okay, we're going to bring him on the show in a few minutes.
All right.
And so we'll pump him and see what all he's up to right now. But what do you forecast for your paper? You're going to keep it going and it's monthly?
Oh yes, we're going to keep it going monthly, and some people say, why don't you go weekly? But right now we don't think about weekly. We just want to go monthly because it's working real well.
Okay.
One
All right, now I need for you to look out into your camera and give them the address, where to send, how much money it costs for a year, and give us some good sale on this.
Yeah, Grand Prairie Black News. It would be good to subscribe because you get the paper come right to your home, and you can just write Grand Prairie Black News. I'm right 205 Southeast 5th Street, Grand Prairie, Texas 75051.
Okay.
And the subscriptions are $12.50.
$12.50 a year. All right, now you're going to give us your magic telephone number. We have a half minute left.
All right, 817-927-5113, and call me.
Yes, you need some, and if they
yes.
have a good news item,
Yes.
pass it on to you.
Yes.
Oh, that's really
Yes.
great, because we're going to have a scoop for you after tomorrow, because Saloma and I are going to a real special meeting, and Saloma's going to come back as your reporter of the week, because she's going to have good stuff to tell you to put in that newspaper, because we're very excited, and thanks to Sally Moore and Tommy Williams and some of the other ladies that are pulling together in a very special way. So that's going to be our surprise, isn't it? In the Black News. So tell them if they want a surprise that the next Black News or the one after that, it'll be some real good, wonderful
That's
news,
cool.
especially for Dalworth. I want to thank Daniel for being here and thank him for having the inspiration to aspire to be the editor.
Yes.
Saloma, we know we're going to bow 3 times. We're going to bow to Saloma for all of the things that she does.
Thank
for the
you.
city. And we'll be right back with the rest of our Black History Show, which will include John and Ernestine Trim, and we're going to keep Chris on the set.
If your brother takes from you, you give to him. And if he slanders you, you sing his praises. But if he ever messes with Texas, pray for him, brother. Pray for him. Pray for him.
As we continue our celebration of Black History Month, we didn't change the scene at the set very much, but we've added a new gentleman. And Chris and I are very pleased to bring on board a young man that's been on this set either 2 or 3 times recently. Mr. John Trim, Chris and I want to welcome you to the set, young man.
You did her.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back with us.
Once more and again.
Yeah, once more and again, that is true. And before we get to the interview with him, Chris, how important is this young man to your newspaper?
Oh my goodness, extremely important. I tell you, we came in about the 2nd month after I started the paper, and he said, I saw this little paper here somewhere, and I wonder, don't you need some help? Knowing I did, you know.
Yes.
And he come in.
Very perceptive,
Oh,
isn't he?
yes. And he came in and showed me what he had done at other newspaper and,
Yes.
and there's talent and what have you. And I said, oh, please help us. And he come in and he just took second role there, just almost like took second charge there. Such a good help. I mean, he helps in every way. He write as much as you're asking to write and more, and then he will sell ads. I mean, whatever, distribute whatever the need is, he does it.
Well, he brought you another asset. She's not with us today.
Oh, yes.
Tell me about Ernestine, because he's not going to talk about Ernestine like we will.
I know, Ernestine Trim. Now, I tell you, and that's another volunteer.
Yes.
You know, I'd go to their house a lot of times with the business I had and what have you, and we'd talk with me, Miss Trim, kind of real good friends, kind of like sisters or something. And, you know, we talk about the subscriptions, and she got real, and she said, y'all do those for you. I mean, just like that. I will type them, I will mail them out, you just bring me the stamps, and sometimes I'll even get the stamps there, and she still gets them out of there, you know.
How wonderful.
Yes, she is so good. She's the greatest person we could find. Not only that, she sells subscriptions. See somebody that, you know, she said, are you getting a paper at your house? And they said, no. Well, she said, well, you should. And she know all these people. She used to teach in Grand Prairie. She's got lots of students. And so she know all these people, and she'll tell them, how about you take a subscription? They'll give her a check right then many times. So she is just great.
And we're going to talk about that one more time before we leave this show. I want you to remember to tell about the subscription price and where to write and our magic telephone number.
All right.
But I got to talk to John just a little bit. Mr. John Trim, I want you to know, I'm going to hold up something here from the Arlington Morning News. That was just the front page. That didn't include a half a page on the inside of the Arlington Morning News about John Trim and a sign of an artistic merit.
Senior citizen.
Senior citizen during Black History Month. I think you have reached the pinnacle of all of the PR that you really deserve, John Trim.
Didn't I say that just a while ago?
Oh, isn't that exciting?
If I don't see, hear anything else, I can still do this and that.
All right.
And keep
Well,
it sitting
do
at
this.
home.
Would you hold up and tell us about what's on the corner, on the inside front cover of the newspaper?
Inside front corner, the bottom line.
Yeah.
By John Trim.
Bottom line, is that the title of your opinion page?
I wrote 2 articles and I kept saying the bottom line is this. The bottom line is that. I said, wait a minute, that's a pretty good
That's
title.
good.
for the
That's a
thing.
good line title,
In
isn't
other
it?
words, the last word and kind of bring them back like
Yes.
a preacher, somebody bring them back to the point.
Yeah.
And leave there with them. That's when I read. That's what I want to see. What's the last statement?
Now, some of the people on our show that might be watching our show today, they didn't see the history that I've done of you for 30 minutes. They don't know your illustrious career. Tell us a little, just a mini thing about John Trim, what you're qualified, how that you just really have a lot of credentials.
God gave me all of them, and I used to be concerned about my pianist. I wanted to take music.
Yeah.
A musician came and taught me 2 lessons, and she died.
Oh my.
I still wanted to play, so I had a good ear, and I learned how to do that. Now I play for churches and stuff. I just had a gift. The art thing, I went in the dentist's office, doctor's office, just where there's a blank wall, and just bothered me.
Yeah.
I said, why don't they put something up around these places? And I started trying to fool around at home, and I asked one of my friends to put
And
something
now
on the
you
wall.
draw like a top-notch artist.
But it started at Neiman Marcus, where I did the science
And your
stuff.
career, when you were working before you retired, what were you?
Teaching for 32 years. Roosevelt
Teaching
High
for
School.
32
That's right.
years. I thought I'd never get that out of you today. Yes.
The best job in the system anywhere is a co-op teacher,
Yes.
where the kids want to drop out of school, but they want to stay in school.
But you help more of them.
That's right. So you teach them how to do on the job, and how to do diction, how to get along with people. Then they leave at 1 o'clock and come work at places like this.
And you can put all of that in many different articles and call it the bottom line
That's
and help
exactly
someone,
right.
can't you?
We listen to what people are talking about. We don't talk about what's this Spider, Tyson. We let the big papers take that.
No.
But
You
things
brought
about people.
some notes with you today. What are those notes that you brought with you today? Is that a dissertation about something?
No, it's just a key that he didn't get off, so we cover some. One of them, people asked, why don't we have a paper out here?
Yeah.
And I
You
said,
got one.
I don't know. I told him, well, I couldn't do it myself.
Yeah,
And she comes with the little old paper,
Chris comes along and does it.
and she might get disgusted if she didn't have the help like Sloan and us to do it, and go back where she came from. I said,
Yeah.
let me get in there.
Yeah, and then you'll have it going.
And we'll have it going.
Will. And then
But,
Daniel's going to be the editor one of these days.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
we
he
don't
said-
watch him, he's going to
yeah.
be the editor.
He said it on TV. I saw him.
Yeah, we've got it documented. We have it documented.
We don't presently charge for the paper. We have to do it, the things ourselves. You know about that. Nobody's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
So we get ads. She runs one way, I run the other way. Put our pennies on the table and add it up to get the paper put out.
Yeah.
But I told her if we had about 2 or 3 of those big advertisers that I'm going to tell you who would pay what $2,600 for a whole year.
Yeah.
Well, we could concentrate on writing. We don't have to worry about expenses. And
Don't
that's what
worry
we
about
hit-
getting out and
that's-
hustling money,
That's
do
what we're
you?
heading up for. And the young people, I want to hit that in there.
All right, let's go for the young people. What you
Okay,
got for
right.
them?
Young man, prolific. I don't know his name, a bongo, a prolific little writer. He just had this gift. Went off to Washington, D.C.
Yes.
On a roll in high school, in Grand Prairie High. He started writing. He wanted to write, but he didn't hang with us.
Yes.
Find some way to involve young people. Well, you're not going to be young too much longer.
Yes.
Get some young folks in here that want to write, like Daniel.
All right.
But I can find something to write and everything. I can write on a piece of rope. I told the kids to do that. They
What
don't
else?
write on
What else
anything.
is your wish list?
We have many assets. We can't get the big people involved because they have to go to the corporate office. That's the
Yeah.
hardest part.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be like any other newspaper.
That's right.
If we did go down, we wouldn't be interested. And one other thing. We had people tell us that they don't throw our newspaper away. Have you heard anything like that?
No, I just tell you I save all of mine.
they
I
say-
wouldn't even let you have one to borrow while
Instead
ago.
of lining the trash can, they keep our papers. We had a unusual thing also, and I want to say that to encourage Chris. Sometimes she said, I don't know, we're going to run out of time and stuff. I said, don't
Yeah.
get discouraged. We had people that write to us and thank us for things that we heard about to write in newspaper and thank them for talking about something, bringing somebody that they forgot about, a person in the community, and that's what
Yeah.
it's all about.
Yes.
We didn't have nobody recognizing a lot of people that people didn't know. I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that. That's the purpose of the paper.
You
To
bet.
find out things about our friends and neighbors that we didn't know, make us appreciate them more.
Are all of the folks that work for the paper, other than Daniel, senior citizens like Saloma and Ernestine that are retired and can give time like this, or do you have you don't have anyone that's paid, other than maybe Chris that has to pay the bills and stuff like that?
They won't hang. You know, they had to be retired to take the time to do.
Yes.
If it's somebody doing another job,
Uh-huh.
they'd want some little change to take
Yeah.
care of, but they got to sacrifice. I just love to see the paper come out, wonder what she gonna have on the cover. And
Well, I like to
and
see
this-
your name in it and your picture up there in the corner.
Well,
That's worth the money.
Well, it's going to change a little bit later. That's the wrong picture. That's when
Chris,
I was
are you gonna let
Well,
him-
Daniel's days,
We had the real him on the
Right.
front page last month.
Oh, you did?
The real
See, I
him.
want to look like
His
I used
age.
to look like Daniel. Right?
Is that a new one?
This is his old. This is the way he looked today. The other one is an old one when he was what 47 or something.
See, if
When-
I didn't
back
give her
when he
that,
was younger.
Right. If I didn't give her that picture with my article back then, she might have changed her mind, let me write,
And wouldn't
I
let you
wouldn't be
write.
here today.
That's right.
Plus, to take this.
Do you feel pretty famous now? You've been through the mill, a teacher that taught 32 years and
That's
everything,
right.
but now you're getting front page publicity. How you like that?
I hate to put this back on you, but we talk about you at the house. I said, Ruth has been doing this for so long. What's the incentive? You get people all over put on your. I said, if she can do that and get a little bit of recognition and sit back, let's get us something. And
There,
then we
there
can
you
sit
are.
back.
You know he's a copycat. Isn't he? I love it.
So if I don't have anything else, seriously,
Yes.
I've reached my pinnacle. That little plan that the teacher I didn't give up because the teacher didn't teach me. I don't know where the art came from, but I just developed that. And
With the
singing
art and the music and the
writing.
ability
That's
to
right.
write,
I'm not an athlete. That's the only thing.
well,
I
you don't need anything else but Ernestine.
That's about it. 46 years.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes. She's a neat lady. I'm glad that she isn't here today, though, because she's coming to our meeting tomorrow, and that's real important.
Let me give her one boost.
Yes, give us a boost.
When she asked her, I need somebody to, Chris said, somebody can have the description. I do all I can. It's too much work, but I'm going to have to do it. So well, I'll do it. I thought she was going to drop the ball on that.
I bet.
And she hoops this thing up everywhere she goes and this type of thing. And I'm just proud of her. She's always got my back. If I can't do it, she'll call them and remind them, just like she said. One customer wants all the papers from when we first started. Remember that?
Oh, going to have to go back to the archives and dig one of every.
But he's somebody that should have the papers, so she's going to do it.
Oh, she'll do it. That's good. All right, Chris,
You know, I think that a good thing about him is he's one of those people I'm talking about who have been good stewards over what his talent is.
Yes.
He's an artist, and how he's all those years, you know, he's done this artwork for baptism or the pool at the church, or whoever's having something, let me do your event sign, you know, just for free.
Yeah.
And now he's getting recognition, exhibits.
Yes.
At the school, exhibits at the library, you know,
Yes.
art exhibits. See,
Yeah.
see how you be blessed for your faithfulness?
Yes.
All those years,
become
7
a
decades.
renowned artist
Yes.
in so many different fields. And
Yes.
Yes.
But I'm from Fort Worth. Would you believe that? That's my
Isn't
home.
that something?
Well, I was born in Fort Worth, but I repented and moved to Grand Prairie. See? I'm trying to bring Chris over from Fort Worth,
I'm
and
about
she's
to come,
she's
too.
looking at
Yes.
it, isn't
That's
she?
right. We need,
Yes, all
need
right.
somebody to volunteer and help, and don't give up.
Mr. Trim, I'd like for you to look out to Daniel, who's running camera for us,
Okay.
and we take advantage of every opportunity, and we want to thank Chris for letting Daniel come today because he's helping us with camera, and he's such a special young man. But I'd like for you to look out into your camera and invite volunteers to come and help you with the newspaper in whatever way you think you have needs.
I would invite volunteers, not necessarily senior citizens, and not too young to understand you have to have a commitment. Chris kind of gives up a little bit along the way, but she turns right around and thinks of a new idea, and we often run it again. That's what it needs. If you don't come up with what you want all the time, you be a part of this. I used to write for a paper I didn't feel a part of. I just wrote my part and sit back and read the paper, went to the next month. I feel a part of this.
Yes.
And anything you feel a part of, you don't want to see it fail. So we need some more folks that do not mind just, what's that thing, you talk a good game, but we need action and get pride out of what you're doing just like we do.
That's wonderful.
That's right.
All right, now, Chris, let us have the mailing address, the cost for an annual subscription, and your magic telephone number, too.
Okay, yes. Please subscribe to the Grand Prairie Black News. It's $12.50 a year. You send us check or money order to Grand Prairie Black News, 205 Southeast 5th Street, Grand Prairie, Texas, 75051.
And I'd like for you to also ask them all of the people that have ads in your paper, when they get your paper, be certain that they call on those people and say, thank you for your ad for helping keep this paper alive. Do that for us.
Tell it when it comes out.
When the paper comes out with the ad, tell
Yes.
the advertisers?
Yes, all of your advertisers. Brag on the advertisers.
Yes.
Second.
Yeah, we would like to thank all our advertisers who support the paper, and we would like for all our readers to please, you know,
Go by and buy
patronize.
something.
Yes, yes, patronize the people.
Yeah.
Oh, I know one thing we didn't say.
You have a half minute to say it.
They don't know where to get the paper. We put them at Doc's Food Store, Kroger's down off in the area out there where we are, at the
Yes.
stores and all the churches in the Dalworth area.
All the churches have them, and if they want a copy of one, if they'll call that magic
That's
telephone
exactly
number
right.
that she has,
That's
one more
exactly
time.
817-927-5113.
That's exactly right.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Second Saturday every month.
I'm so excited. Did we go off all of your
Comes out the
checklist
second
there?
Saturday.
Believe it or
Second
not.
Saturday.
That's right. Believe it or not. I don't know
All
how
of
you do
your,
it, but you
all
do.
of your checklist is gone.
right.
Lewis says wind it up, and Daniel will cut us off in about a minute.
No, but we did
And this
good.
is Ruthie Jackson reminding you that it's happening in Grand Prairie, but this is a history happening, and it's all because of the ones that are on the set today, that we have had a wonderful, wonderful history. And thank you all for being with us, because history is as we live and do.
That's right.